Have you ever noticed how some mornings feel heavy before the sun even rises? You wake up and check your phone, scroll through a few messages, and already you can feel a sense of dread beginning to fall over the day. It could even be something small, a sharp comment on a post you made, an unexpected bill that went through your bank account, a memory that you would rather avoid. It tightens our chests just a little, and we brace ourselves, wondering what is next to come. We tell our hearts to toughen up just so we can survive the day. We even train ourselves to remain guarded, because hardening our hearts makes us feel safe. But hardness always comes at a cost. A hardened heart can't hear as much. It has a difficult time receiving correction, consolation, and even invitations from God. The more we protect ourselves through pride, fear, or stubbornness, the more we lose the ability to see what leads to true and lasting peace. A hardened heart fights battles that are not worth fighting and ignores the battles that matter most. It becomes difficult to trust, difficult to obey, difficult to welcome anything new from God. Mattathias stands in front of us today as a man whose heart refused to harden in the wrong direction. His people faced pressure to compromise their covenant with God. Some went along with it. It would have been easier, safer, and far more convenient for him to follow. The king even promised him honor and gifts, but he answered with clarity instead. Mattathias declared, "We will keep to the covenant of our fathers. God forbid that we should forsake the law." His fidelity had a cost. He left behind all the comforts of the city and fled into the mountains with nothing but his faith. Then the gospel shows the opposite. Jesus draws near Jerusalem and begins to weep. The city cannot see what makes for peace. That blindness didn't happen overnight. It grew slowly through the years by small refusals and little compromises. They kept to the motions of their faith, but lost the meaning of the covenant. Jesus says the tragedy comes because you did not recognize the time of your visitation. Their hearts became too hard to see the Messiah standing right in front of them. Grace speaks softly. Hardness drowns it out. We know this struggle. Each one of us has moments when we feel pulled toward compromise. Times when it seems easier to numb the heart rather than let God touch what's hurting deep inside of us. I know how quickly my own heart can begin to close when it feels pressured or criticized or tired. We all wrestle with the temptation to control our own peace instead of receiving peace from God. We cling to habits and opinions that feel like armor, but they only leave us restless on the inside. The Lord wants something softer, something freer, something more capable of hearing him again. Because sin hardens the heart. Grace restores tenderness. Each time we draw near to this altar, Christ visits us again. He doesn't force himself on us. He invites us. He knocks, he whispers, and yes, sometimes he weeps over us. Yet still, he comes close enough to soften in us what we thought had already scarred over. Here, he gives us his body so we can drop the walls we build around our own hearts. Here, he gives us his blood so our hearts can beat again with trust instead of fear. And he will do it again tomorrow and the day after that, until the heart becomes soft enough to know him again. Because if we cannot soften our hearts here, in front of the one who pours himself out from us, where will this necessary tenderness come from? If we cannot let him open our hearts here at the altar, will we be open enough to receive him when the time of visitation is upon us? By God's grace, let him enter. Let him be your peace.